pays the rent.
Yeah.
I'm freaking sure.
It's a bummer, this whole like money thing that society decided upon. I wasn't there for it, I tell you that.
Yeah, I never agreed to that.
No.
Yeah, no, it is. You're right, dude. It's tough, and it's hard to find and afford hobbies and stuff too. I mean, I know that MVR, costs a pretty penny for us, and we have to do what we can to keep it afloat. So that's it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of money.
Well, it takes the passion first, and then it takes the talent, and you guys got both. I'll say that.
Man, honestly, we don't know if we would have continued to do this without people like you that support us and stuff. Seriously, this kind of stuff is like living in a vacuum, man. And when you don't get sometimes when you get reviews like you give us, comments like you make, man, it validates us. It keeps us going. So thank you, man, because we probably wouldn't still be doing this if we didn't get people to get kind words like the ones you give us.
Well, man, it's easy, and I think that if the whole world was reading your comics, then
There'd be no need for heaven. We don't have to be there.
No, I mean, if people were genuinely reading your stuff, if all the people that would like your stuff were reading it, you'd be world famous. It's just like you and me. We don't have time to read everything, but I bet you there's a ton of stuff that we would love to be talking about right now.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Why we took the ad out in Dynamite, and why it's like roulette is what I found. I feel like there's a market there, but it's like a very niche market, and it's just not finding it, man. Like you said, I mean, even if they like the stuff, getting them to read it is a big step. Getting them to buy it, getting them to buy it is a big step. And then even after that, I found that a lot of people that buy it at cons, don't even read it. They just buy it, and they have a bunch of comics that they've just kind of just on a big pile of them that they haven't had time to read and probably won't ever read. So it's sort of interesting, and we're kind of trying to work through that. We're just getting as many people as possible. But, luckily we have sort of, developed sort of a following that, keeps up with us, keeps us, asks us when's the next one comes out or gives us, kind words. But, yeah, it's like playing the roulette, finding, it's about,
It's kind of like being in a band. You have your... You have your fans, and
to be in the band, I think would actually be harder, man, because just it's a grind and just getting screwed over time after time by the clubs or Spotify or any of those sort of distributors.
Yeah, but you know what? If there was comic book shows, not like Comic-Con, but bars where the creators of a comic book would come and just do a live comic book, I don't know, you'd have to think of a way to do it, or maybe have maybe there's some cool projector technology that is proprietary and only the comic book person can, Fry from Futurama using that little xylophone thing and just, I don't know. I would totally line up every time if my little Hartford would have a comic book show at a bar once a week. Hell, I'd go if you even talked about comics and gave me a beer.
That's cool. Yeah, that's an interesting concept. And we've kind of thought about that kind of thing before. Not exactly like you put it, but I was out here in Los Angeles, and just you can kind of see the improv scene and stuff like that. And it's hard to get hard to get a time where people would actually come to see it, other than your friends who are kind of just doing you a favor.
Yeah, we don't want that.
My co-writer of Man vs. Rock, who you met, Victor, he used to be in an improv group over in LA, and it's a constant struggle to you put a lot of work in, put a lot of time in, and once you do it, there's 6 people, and none of them are none of them don't,
they don't get it.
Yeah, not they're your friends, so you're not really building a fan base.
Yeah.
You know, so it's sort of a I mean, he was in an improv group, and they did, to their credit, they did like, you know, a bunch of shows, but they just never able to build traction. Sort of like, I mean, a lot of this stuff, it's probably no different with comics or with music, but there's a luck element involved too. You know, sort of just some sort of randomness involved. But, you know, it's you just got to keep pushing. You know, I know you're a musician, right? I've heard your songs on, like, you kind of heard your songs on Ankle. You played on the one of your articles.
Yeah, that was just me fooling around, but I love to play, and that's another struggle too, because it's, you know, you can do it in a vacuum for so long, and I played, you know, for years on my own, and, you know, I played around with GarageBand, but it's what anybody wants. It's just to play in front of people, and for that you need to be able to play with, you know, people you like and make songs and jam and get good, and that's hard. That gets harder the older you get. I've found it, just to know people that are in your area and are going to make the time, and, you know, it's frustrating. It's you can't quit.
Especially when people start having kids and people start having, like, you know, other commitments. Just time's gone. You know, I guarantee you that if either Victor or myself had a kid, then I don't know what would happen to Man versus Rock. Like, it's just such a commitment, and I mean, I don't know. We're so life kind of happens, but, you know, with a band, I think it's even more so, because, like, Vic and I are just like, you know, we're two really good friends who are ultra committed to this book. Whereas a band, you need what, like 4 or 5 people, you know, or at least 3 people, I think, right? Yeah,
most of them.
Drums, lead guitar, you know, rhythm guitar, bass. You know.
I mean, you can have people that are, like, disgustingly talented that can sing and play, and, you know, the other guy sings and plays, but those guys, people would be lining up to be in bands with them anyway, so they're choosing to be a member of 2. If you're, like, a normal talented person, you probably need 3 or 4.
Yeah. So, you know, you've got that kind of dynamic there too. You know, have you? You're in the Hartford area, right?
Yep.
Have you ever thought about going to, like, New York or sort of like a bigger music hotspot, or?
I mean,
like that?
I lived in New York for a little while, right out of college, and I was hustling the marketing game with my Stan socks, trying to, you know, not be found out or whatever. I just didn't. I was immature, and I wasn't immature so much that I was just ill prepared, and I came in with so little money, and I was living off my uncle's, you know, charity basically, and I got a decent job, but I wasn't, you know, I wasn't really a man yet, and it wasn't a, you know, it was kind of disheartening too, because marketing, I found, was built on, you know, cogs and wheels. You know, people spend billions of dollars for impressions because the empirical data says this, and there's no real proof. And I mean, I worked for a brand called Internet Explorer for Microsoft for 6 months. And for 3 years, there was a plan in place to eliminate the browser entirely. And what was our goal? Why was Internet Explorer on the TV? What was the goal? Never really explained. It was about, and I had to repeat this line every time. That was my job, was to repeat this line at meetings and look pretty with a business card. And I'd say, we're trying to engage web enthusiasts. And why? So that they'll switch over to Internet Explorer. And why? Because, you know, that'd be good. Oh, what's wrong with Google Chrome and all that? Well, most people don't really know what a browser is. Are you serious? Yes, that is the case. So we want to educate people by putting that brand in, and we're willing to spend millions of dollars doing this. Oh.
Yeah, so it's like being a consultant, sort of, just a bunch of, you know, I guess management speak sort of stuff. We're just talking in generalities, but there's no substance to back it up.
Absolutely no substance. Absolutely no substance. Yeah. And that's not, I mean, you know, you get to the point where you get to do substance. You don't get to start there. I get that. But it was disheartening to see that the world really seemed okay with that at the higher levels. Which is why my job now, to be in a baseball marketing person, is so much more fun, because I can talk to a local shop and I can think of the idea and is you know, something creative that you could never do anywhere else, and I could just do it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, once you get into the whole like sort of big business sort of any dynamics there, the soul is sort of crushed out of it. At least that's been my experience. You know, so that's cool. You do marketing for baseball.
Well, I do sales for a minor league ball team, and we're a big deal now because we're moving into Hartford, and we're controversial because we're leaving the town. But I mean, everybody just does everything because it's a small team.
Yeah.
So it's cool because I grew up in this area, and I like Hartford a lot. So we're planning to move the team next year, so I'm excited for that. And I'm kind of
moving to?
Right here to Hartford. So we're currently in New Britain.
Oh, you're moving to Hartford. Okay.
Yeah, which is another 20 minutes away.
That's exciting, then.
Yeah.
That's cool. So it's exciting. It's like a new time for y'all.
Yeah, no, I'd like to think that we could become a little Austin, Texas or something someday.
That's cool. I love it. I mean, I'm from Texas originally. So, hey,
Yeah, my heart's at South by Southwest right now. I'm sure yours is too.
Yeah, I know. I've been there before. I'm from Houston originally. Went to school in New York, and then I came out to LA. And Victor and I actually met in college. So, yeah, I do miss Texas a lot. Texas is always one of the places that I'll always look on fondly. Especially Austin. Austin's just fun,
Oh yeah.
So
haven't been there enough, man. Oh, you should go to their Austin Comic-Con, dude. You're from Texas. You have every right to be there.
I guess so. I mean, the thing with it too is just that you pretty much you're pretty much guaranteeing that you're not going to break even if you have to fly or travel somewhere for it, just with all the lodging expenses to fly, the cost it takes to actually get a booth. You're touching your profit margin quite a bit, and then all the costs of being there. It's just I would like to do it, and also just there's just so much time I can take off of work. I've taken a day off for WonderCon, I'm taking a day off for Vegas, but I mean. It's much better for us, financially when we have a con down here in Southern California than when we have it anywhere else.
I hear you.
Boston was good though. We did enjoy Boston a lot. So, but other than that, we'd love to do Austin at some point, but kind of have to work with we'd have to get bigger, I think, to justify it. So. Hopefully we're able to continue to work at that towards that. But at this point, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, interview question time. What is your dream for Man vs. Rock? What do you want to see happen? Yeah.
To make enough money to pay my alimony and child support every month.
You guys got the best answers to every question I've ever asked.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you don't mind if we just kind of if I give an answer that's just sort of just not serious and fucked up.
That's fine. No, it's